By engaging companies directly, we are actually working with those actors that are in the best position to make a difference in the lives of workers. At the same time, we continue to engage critically with the community and with the network of which we count ourselves as being a part. I'm talking about the civil society. And I think our partners, companies who partner with us, I think they understand that when they engage Verite or Verite Southeast Asia, that we will maintain our independence and objectivity. And in fact, that is what we bring to the table. And we do understand that companies, when they engage us, they do it with a certain level of trust. And we do sign non-disclosure agreements. But we have also said no to some companies when we perceive that their ways of working do not align with ours, when the desired outcomes are not in harmony with our desired outcome. So for us, it's pretty simple. Our mission is clear, fair, safe, and fair, safe, and legal conditions for all workers worldwide. I think a good example is the RSPO. 6 years ago, before we became a member of the RSPO, there were no specific or explicit standards or criteria on forced labor, for instance. And through the external pressure and stakeholder action of civil society on the one hand, and direct engagement of social NGOs like ourselves on the other hand, we now have a set of principles and criteria that are much better than before. And they will continue to improve because of these combination of pressures and engagement. And so I see that as a good example of how actions that are sort of seemingly very different from each other end up complementing to produce the right result that everyone can be happy about. And if you're talking about the region, like Southeast Asia, where borders are very porous and wherein we see a lot of movements of peoples, it's so important that countries have aligned legislations, or at least supportive legislation. So receiving countries, we hope, should be able to translate into legislation like industry standards, like the RSPO standards. And on the other hand, sending countries, we think should have the right set of legislations and mechanisms to protect their workers. So if we have that kind of an ideal situation, it makes it so easy for companies, for industry associations or certification schemes like the RSPOs to operate, but that's not what we have right now. And that's why part of the work that we do is to engage governments continuously and to facilitate the crafting of the right legislation, the development of the right kind of climate, for operations, business operations to happen ethically.